Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to the video. Today I have something pretty interesting I'd like to share with you all because it is to do with the 1.6 update for Minecraft Bedrock. So this will be coming out for all Minecraft Bedrock devices in the next 2 to 3 months after the 1.5 update officially clears. And the interesting thing about this update is it actually does include barrier blocks for the first ever time. A very hotly requested feature that people have wanted for a very long time. But the interesting thing is that even once you get this update or you play with the beta like I am right now, you won't necessarily be able to access the barrier block just by searching for it because it is a hidden block. It's not found in the creative inventory. So I figured I'd give a full guide on how you can get it, as well as the guide on how it's different to the Java Edition version. It's very exclusive. It has a bunch of unique features, which I'm going to be showing all off in today's video, and I'm not just going to be talking about them and mentioning them like I did in previous video. I'll be going through every single one of them, even the ones I didn't, and actually giving you full gameplay comparisons. So this is the Java version, and these are the barrier blocks you'll see right here, and then obviously just over here, we're also going to have the Windows 10 version, which is the Bedrock version right here, where the barrier blocks are very different, they behave weirdly, and they have a bunch of advantages, in my opinion, that we'll be showing off and talking about in today's video. Please give it a like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel. Let us know you do like these tutorials, as well as the fun kind of comparisons between Bedrock and Java, because again, in this case, it's quite different. But first of all, let's just go through the very first thing you need to know, which is how do you get this block on the, the Bedrock version. Once you get your phone and you're like, I really want to make a map with this, what you need to do is you need to give yourself, or give whatever, whoever you want to give it to, just the barrier. So the barrier block, as you can see, is only found in the, the command interface. It's not found in the creative menu, and there are a few reasons for that, I imagine, because it's mostly meant for map makers. It's not meant for the general public. You're not meant to confuse your friends by putting these in their, their main worlds. This is just like, well, you might need to make something cool with it. So yeah, it's like the command block, it's like the structure block, it's a hidden block locked behind that thing, and yeah, if you give yourself the barrier, then you'll be able to do this. It's worth mentioning, it is the barrier, not the barrier block. You might get confused by that on the spot. People call it the barrier block because it's just called the barrier, but it takes up the space for block, and that's the reason behind that one. There is a chance it might eventually change to be the barrier block, but for now, it is the barrier. It looks like this, and you can only see it while holding a barrier. So this is interesting because, this is how it looks on Minecraft Bedrock. As you can see, I pull out the barrier, and it instantly flows back there. I can obviously still see the outlines when they're not there, but the instant you pull it out, they vanish. The instant you pull it out, they appear. The instant you put it away, they vanish. Even at this distance over there, look, there are some inside there, they just vanish and reappear instantly. This is not how it works on Java, and honestly, it's just an entirely better system on Bedrock, because here's how it works on Java. You remove your barrier block, and then some number of seconds later, they fade away one by one. I can't work out why that is the system. They would use it all, but it's the weirdest one right there. The other weird thing about this is the fact that, they actually vanish at a certain distance in Java. So if I get this far back, even though I'm holding the barrier block, you can see I'm still holding it. After about 20 or so blocks, you stop being able to see your own blocks, and then again, if you get closer, they'll start to fade in again. I can't work out why they thought fading in would be better than instantly being appearing, because again, it's just the most inconsistent kind of thing to follow. Whereas if we go back to Minecraft, well, Windows 10, let's just say Minecraft Bedrock, if we go back over here, you can see how the same thing, it just flips in and out, like I said earlier. But also, if we keep this in our hands, and even if we flip it back and forth, we can see the barrier blocks until the edge of the render distance, until the point where they literally are invisible because we just can't see them. They're too small a detail. Those barrier blocks exist from all of these 100 blocks away, which is something I find wonderful. They technically exist right now. I don't think you can see them on the screen. Like, can you tell a difference? I don't think you can. But the fact that you can see barrier blocks from as far away as they'll let you, again, it's this whole thing where you're like, why do they need to render out? Why do they? What is the point behind that? And yeah, it's one of the ways I think they're just superior on Bedrock, and I'd like to see this ported over to Java. I mean, not that I make too many maps on Java, but I think a lot of people would agree that it's probably better that way. So yeah, barrier block, kind of nice like that. And the other thing that's different between the barrier block on the Bedrock and the Java version is the fact that when you get too close to them, they actually, they kind of blur in towards you. And you might think this is just the weirdest thing, because, like, why is that? If you get really far into the wall, it happens the same. Because if we go to the Java version, you'll look at it and you'll realize. So again, this is Java version. The way I've got the difference told, by the way, is that if you look over on the Bedrock version, I've got a piece of Bedrock in the inventory. So that's how you can tell if you ever get confused during this. But yeah, basically, as you can see, while we're playing the Java version, they actually, if you get close to them, it doesn't affect it. They have the exact same icon, the exact same appearance, whether you run at them or not. And the reason behind this is because the Java version is based on your rotation as a player. As you can see, if I rotate left and right, the barrier block rotates with me because it assumes I'm facing in this direction. So that means that they're facing directly towards me, which means you can do some really weird stuff with a wide enough field of view, and also, the right angles, because now they're actually looking away from me. There's a bunch of weird things you can do because they're based on your angle. They're not based on anything else. Look, they're next to each other. Now they're facing each other. There's just a bunch of weird things. They look up, they look down. They do all these different kind of strange things because it's based on your rotation as the player. Also, you can put them in offhand apparently, but it's based on your rotation as the player. But so that's a thing worth mentioning. And yeah, the thing about the Bedrock version is that it's not based on your rotation as a player, it's based on your position. So no matter how much you rotate, if I go up, if I go down, as you can see, the barrier blocks don't change because they care about my position relative to them. They care about where I physically am. If I'm standing to the right of them, they'll look towards me. If I'm standing in front of them, they'll look like that. If I'm standing above them, they'll look up above me. And you can see it's kind of interesting the way this works. Like you can see them physically spin as you do this. And yeah, basically this is because the barrier block is based on your position, not your movement, which means they'll all look in different directions. If I'm over here, as you can see, all of the barrier blocks are looking towards me. And that's, honestly, it's something that I think is kind of cool. It's wacky. I feel like it's got some potential to do something weird with it. And I think the fact that they all look up with you slowly is, it's weird, and it does have some, you know, some weird nigglties to it. Like, what is this? Also, what is the word nigglety? I don't know what that is, but they have some weird, you know, things to them, and it's going to take a while to, you know, fully work out how we can use that. But the fact that novelty is maybe what I was going for, the fact that they do work differently is something you're going to need to keep in mind. So yeah, keep in mind that they do, they spawn in, they're just called the barrier over here. It's still the barrier Java version, but still, it's called the barrier. It's only available in the command interface, and again, it's likely to have some changes between now and the future. They will be available in maps and stuff from the store. You will be able to just pick block them. That's the thing you can do with them. But the thing to keep in mind is that they do work differently on this version to Java, and I'm sure there's some way you can abuse this, because again, when you look at this, if you spin a little bit, you can kind of like, again, you can make the blocks spin around with you, which I think is wacky, it's interesting. And yeah, obviously the fact that the barrier blocks are always looking at you and you can always see them means you can do some form of magic, like, you know, you can try and make people avoid the barrier blocks. You can do like the dropper, but using barrier blocks. There's a few different interesting differences that will come up for maps, and those are the three major ones. So anyway, if that's it, it's worth mentioning also, because the barrier block is a full-on block, it blocks water, because it uses the new water physics. Just keep that in mind, that like, it's really, really strange to see this, especially without anything there. But you can use, you know, because obviously the aquatic update is out and will be out by the time the 1.6 update is out. But the thing to keep in mind is that they don't blend with water. It is a full-on block, which means that you can do some really weird things like this, for instance. So if you want to do water physics like this, and you want to, again, make them work without having to mod or glitch the game, you can do so just like that. It's kind of wonderful, and it's a really strange little thing you can do this update, in my opinion. Also, as you can see right there, you can block off. You can do a lot of weird things because it's a block. It's the same as placing a wood block. It's just a wood block that you can't see unless you're holding, and it's a wood block that you can't break at all in survival. It's worth mentioning, unlike the invisible bedrock, you can like try and hit it, but there's no mining this. Nothing's gonna happen. Also, there is a phantom. But yeah, as you can see, there's nothing you can do about it. However, it's worth mentioning that in survival, also, I forgot to mention this one, you can't see the blocks even while you're holding them. This is a creative-only feature, which is something that I think is kind of nice. But yeah, so Bedrock, the barrier block is a exclusive block on Bedrock. It works in very similar ways, but it is distinctly different. As you can see, you can even place it and it just kind of shows up like that. It is a distinctly different block. It is an exclusive block, and honestly, I think the exclusive features are cool enough that I'd like to see the Java developers put them in there. I don't know if that's a thing that will happen. Obviously, you have to wait and see how things develop. But for now, I hope you all enjoy the video. Make sure you give it a like if you liked it. Give it a share if you really liked it. And turn on those notifications if you're new around here, because it'd make me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. So thank you very much for watching this video about the barrier block exclusive functionalities for 1.6. I'm going to be talking about 1.6, 1.5 release date stuff fairly soon, because I know a lot of people are curious, like, so why is there a beta 1.6 and also 1.5 at the same time? It's a complicated issue. Let me get into it. But I'll get into it sometime soon. But let me just say for now that the fact that 1.6 beta is out means you can expect 1.5 soon, but you will expect 1.5 and not 1.6 if you don't download betas. So yeah, hopefully that's enough for you. For now, I'll get some stuff done, and then I'll let you know more about the release date in the next couple of days when we have some time to like digest this beta. So with that said, hope you'll enjoy the video, because I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.